Welcome back, coin collectors and enthusiasts. Today, we have something truly special to talk about, the 1952 Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a penny. But believe me, this coin is far from ordinary. This little piece of history can be worth up to $4 million. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this penny is so valuable and how you can identify if you have one in your collection. Let's start with a quick overview. The 1952 Lincoln penny was minted in San Francisco, as indicated by the S mint mark right below the date. These pennies were part of the standard yearly production of the Lincoln cent, which features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the back. Minted in 1952, this penny is part of a long tradition that started back in 1909, when the Lincoln cent was first introduced. While most 1952 pennies were produced in large quantities and are fairly common, there is one particular rarity that sets this coin apart from the rest. Here's where things get interesting. Although millions of these coins were minted, a small percentage of 1952 pennies were struck with an extremely rare and valuable error, a double die obverse. This means that the design on the obverse, particularly the date and the inscriptions like Liberty, has a noticeable doubling, which occurred during the minting process. Now, you might be asking, how can I identify a double die? Well, here's the key: look for signs of double or even triple lines around the date and lettering. On a regular 1952 penny, the date and inscriptions should be sharp and clear. But with the double die error, you'll see a noticeable doubling effect, giving the coin a blurry, ghost-like appearance in certain areas. Now, the big question: what makes these pennies worth up to $4 million? The answer lies in their extreme rarity and the high demand from collectors. The 1952 double die Lincoln penny is one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. In fact, in 2008, a 1952 double die penny was sold at auction for nearly $4.2 million, making it one of the most expensive pennies ever sold. That's right, an error in the minting process led to a coin that was worth millions of dollars. Let's talk about how you can identify if you have a 1952 double die penny. First, examine the date closely. If you see a faint second image of the number 1 or the 9 in the date, or if the Liberty text appears to be slightly split, then you're likely looking at a double die. Here's a pro tip: use a magnifying tool to examine the lettering and numbers carefully. The doubling is usually most apparent in the upper portions of the letters and digits. If you find these traits, congratulations, you might just have a rare treasure on your hands. Now that you know how to identify this rare penny, let's talk about how much it's worth today. The 1952 double die penny can fetch anywhere from $1,000 to several million dollars, depending on the condition and the severity of the doubling. For a coin to reach the $4 million mark, it needs to be in exceptional condition, likely graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. If you think you have a valuable coin, I recommend getting it professionally graded. Coins that are in pristine condition and properly authenticated by experts can command a premium price at major coin auctions, where collectors are willing to pay top dollar for the right piece. So, the next time you come across a 1952 Lincoln penny, take a moment to inspect it carefully. While most of these pennies are worth just a few cents, if you happen to find one with that elusive double die error, you could be holding a $4 million coin in your hands. 1976 mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could be worth a whopping $2 million. Yes, you heard that right, the 1976 penny was part of the United States bicentennial celebrations, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. This year brought about special designs for both quarters and half dollars, but the penny remained mostly unchanged. Yet, there's something about the 1976 Lincoln penny that has made it one of the most sought-after coins in the world. Now, here's the twist: the 1976 penny you're probably thinking of might not be worth much, just 1 cent, right? But, a certain rare minting error has catapulted this coin into the high dollar range. Some 1976 D pennies were struck with a significant flaw, making them far rarer than their counterparts. The error in question: a doubled die or sometimes an off-center strike. This means that the die used to strike the coin was misaligned, resulting in a doubled image of Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse or misalignment on the reverse. When these errors are identified and authenticated, their value skyrockets. While most 1976 D pennies are worth just their face value, the ones with these errors are extremely rare and highly collectible. In fact, one of these rare 1976 D Lincoln pennies, with the double die error, was recently valued at an astonishing $2 million at auction. Can you believe it? A single penny, worth $2 million, and it's sitting out there in someone's pocket change or perhaps hidden away in a dusty drawer. The rarity of this coin, combined with its historical significance, makes it a dream for collectors. So, how do you spot this elusive treasure in your own collection? First, take a good look at the obverse, the side with Lincoln's portrait. Look for any doubling around the date, the lettering, or Lincoln's features. If you see a slight shadow or a second image layered on top of the primary one, you might have a double die penny on your hands. Also, check the reverse of the coin for any misalignment or an off-center strike, which might cause the date or words to appear blurry or out of position. If either of these errors is found, you could be holding a highly valuable coin. Now that you know what to look for, what should you do if you find one? First, make sure the coin is in good condition. While errors can increase value, the coin's grade plays a huge role in its overall worth. For a coin to fetch a high price like $2 million, it needs to be in exceptional condition. Next, get your penny professionally graded by a reputable service, such as the Asterisk Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. A certified coin will always hold more value than one that isn't graded. Once you have your coin graded, you can either sell it to a coin dealer or even auction it off through a reputable house, where these rare coins have fetched astronomical prices. Remember, coin collecting is about patience and knowledge. If you've got a collection of pennies, always check for errors. Even common years like 1976 could hide some incredible treasures. Keep learning, keep hunting, and you might just discover your own $1 million coin. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible coin discoveries. And if you think you've got a 1976 D penny with a rare error, let us know in the comments below. 1985 D Lincoln penny, a coin that's not just worth a few cents, it could be worth $1 million. Stick around as we explore its history, rarity, and how to spot one of these rare gems. Let's get started. The 1985 D Lincoln penny is a regular coin in terms of design, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The penny was minted in Denver with a D mint mark, signifying it was produced at the Denver Mint. But what makes this penny so special? Let's dive into the story behind its value. Each year, the U.S. Mint produces billions of pennies, and most of them are common and found in your pocket change. However, the 1985 D penny isn't just another coin. Over time, certain rare varieties of pennies have been discovered, particularly those with unique errors or anomalies. Here's where it gets interesting. Some of the 1985 D pennies have been found with rare minting errors, making them highly valuable. For example, a significant number of these pennies have been discovered with the famous double die obverse error, where the details on the front are unusually doubled, creating a noticeable distortion in the lettering and image of Lincoln. This error occurs during the minting process when a coin is struck twice, resulting in a blurry or doubled design. If you happen to find a 1985 D penny with this double die error, it's considered highly valuable. These pennies, depending on the grade and condition, can fetch anywhere from several $100s to thousands. But there's more. Now, let's get to the real jackpot. Some rare varieties of the 1985 D Lincoln penny have been sold for over $1 million at auctions. How is this possible, you ask? Well, the combination of extreme rarity, high demand, and the right condition can skyrocket the value of a penny. Collectors and investors are always on the lookout for unique and rare error coins, and when a coin like this appears in perfect condition, it's a game changer. So, how do you know if your 1985 D penny could be worth $1 million? It all comes down to the minting errors, the condition of the coin, and its provenance. Coins in mint state, meaning they're in perfect or near perfect condition, are the ones that catch the attention of major collectors. Alright, let's talk about how to spot a valuable 1985 D penny. First things first, check the mint mark. It should be a D located just below the date. Next, focus on the double die error. Look for any doubling of the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. You'll also want to check Lincoln's portrait for any signs of doubling, especially his ear, eyebrow, and hairline. If you notice any of these signs, you might just have a rare penny on your hands. The next step is to assess the coin's overall condition. A coin that's in mint state or near perfect condition, with little to no wear, scratches, or discoloration, will always be worth more. For the best results, you'll want to get your coin graded by a professional. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can give your coin a certified grade, which significantly increases its value when selling it to collectors. Let's talk numbers. The rare 1985 D double die error penny can range in value from a few $100s to tens of thousands, depending on its condition. However, when a penny reaches that perfect grade, whether it's a mint state example or a rare double die error in pristine condition, it can soar into the hundreds of thousands or even into the $1 million range. For example, some 1985 D pennies with the double die error have been sold for over $100,000 to $500,000 at auction. And if you find that perfect coin, it could be worth even more, potentially $1 million, so, there you have it, the 1985 D Lincoln penny could be sitting in your pocket, and it could be worth a small fortune. If you think you have one of these rare gems, get it checked out, and who knows, you might just strike it rich. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more coin tips, and leave a comment below if you found any rare pennies yourself. 1987 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, and trust me, this one's got a story. First things first, let's talk about the 1987 D Lincoln penny in detail. The D mint mark means this coin was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the two primary mints that produce U.S. coins. Most 1987 pennies you find are going to be pretty typical, just like the ones you use every day, but some rare coins stand out, and the 1987 D penny is one of them. This coin features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The design has been a staple of U.S. currency since 1909, making this penny an instant classic. But, if you're holding a regular 1987 D penny, it's worth, well, exactly 1 cent. So, what makes this one so special? It's not just the appearance. There's a rare, unique feature that makes this penny stand out, one that could potentially fetch up to $1.9 million. Now, you're probably wondering, what's so special about the 1987 D penny that could make it worth a mind-blowing $1.9 million? Well, this coin is a prime example of an error coin, something every collector dreams of finding. The rare version of this penny has a major minting error, specifically a double die obverse, meaning the image of Lincoln on the front was struck more than once, resulting in a doubling effect. The most noticeable sign of this error is on the word Liberty, where you can clearly see the letters are duplicated. This error can be faint or very noticeable depending on the condition of the coin. Imagine holding a coin with not just one, but two impressions of Abraham Lincoln's face. This error happened during the minting process, and it's a rare mistake that's captured the attention of collectors worldwide. While most 1987 D pennies are worth their face value, this particular one could be worth an incredible $1.9 million. Okay, So now that you know about this rare error, you're probably asking, how can I tell if I've got a $1.9 million penny in my hands? Great question. First, take a close look at the word liberty on the obverse side of the coin. If you notice a doubling effect, where the letters are not perfectly aligned, you might have a rare coin on your hands. This is the most common feature of the 1987 D double die error. Also, check for any additional signs of doubling on other areas like the date or the motto, "In God We Trust." If these features are present, you could be holding a coin that's much more valuable than a simple penny. If you think you found one of these rare pennies, take it to a professional coin grader. They can evaluate the condition and assign a grade, which will ultimately affect its value. In mint condition, these error coins are often worth much more. Now, you're probably asking, how in the world does a penny end up being worth $1.9 million? That's a great question, and it all comes down to rarity and demand. As I mentioned before, error coins like this one are incredibly rare, and because of their unique history, they're highly sought after by collectors. This specific penny has made headlines after it was auctioned for millions in recent years. Collecting rare coins is like investing in art or antiques. The rarer the coin, the higher the demand, and in some cases, the higher the price it can fetch at auction. A well-preserved 1987 D double die penny in top condition could easily sell for well over $1 million. Can you imagine finding one of these in your pocket change? It's a long shot, but if you're lucky enough to come across one, you could be holding a life-changing amount of money in your hand. So, the next time you check your pocket change, take a second look at those 1987 D pennies. Could one of them be worth $1.9 million? It's unlikely, but with coins, you never know when a hidden treasure might show up. If you enjoyed this video and want more insights into valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. What coin are you hoping to find next? Let me know in the comments. 1993 D Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny, and you'll be shocked to learn just how much it's worth. Stay tuned, because this penny could be worth up to $1.8 million. The 1993 D Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, is part of the long line of pennies featuring Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile. But while most of these pennies are worth just 1 cent, some rare versions can be worth a lot more, much more. So, what makes this penny so special? Well, it's not just the year or the mint mark. It's all about its condition and the potential for unique errors. Let's break it down. The 1993 D penny was part of the ongoing Lincoln cent series that was introduced in 1909. The Denver Mint produced over 5 billion of these pennies, and most of them were struck with standard features. However, there's a rare group of these coins that have certain characteristics or minting errors that make them highly valuable. One of the key things to look for is the overall condition of the coin. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition are the ones that command the highest prices. But it's not just about looking shiny, there are specific errors that make these pennies so rare. For example, some coins were struck with off-center images, doubling of the mint mark, or even filled die errors. Now, here's where it gets exciting. Most 1993 D pennies are worth only a few cents, but there's a particular example that has made headlines for its sky-high price. In recent auctions, a 1993 D penny with an extremely rare error sold for an astonishing $1.8 million. That's right, folks. $1.8 million. But don't think you're just going to stumble across one of these in your spare change. The coin we're talking about had a combination of exceptional factors, namely, an extremely rare error and near-perfect condition. So, while most 1993 D pennies are worth just a few bucks, this one went for a life-changing amount. So, what made this specific penny worth a fortune? Well, it's a very rare minting mistake. On the particular 1993 D penny that sold for $1.8 million, there was an unusual double strike error. The first strike was slightly off-center, and when the coin was struck again, it created a unique overlapping image that caught the attention of collectors and experts alike. This double strike error is incredibly hard to come by, and collectors will pay top dollar for such a coin. The rarity, the mistake in minting, and the preservation of the coin are what caused this penny's value to soar into the millions. So, what should you look for in your 1993 D pennies to see if they might be valuable? Start by checking the mint mark, the D, on the right side of Lincoln's portrait. Then, look closely at the overall condition of the coin. Coins with little to no wear are always more valuable. After that, examine the coin closely for any signs of error. A double strike or an off-center image will make the coin stand out. If you suspect you have something rare, take it to a professional coin appraiser or get it graded to find out its true value. Now, don't rush to check your coin jars just yet. While finding a $1.8 million penny is highly unlikely, you might have something valuable in your collection that's worth more than face value. Coins with minting errors or in near-perfect condition can fetch surprising amounts at auction. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the 1993 D penny, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of our coin-related content. And hey, if you find something rare in your pocket change, let us know in the comments below. Maybe you've got your own jackpot waiting to be discovered. 1994 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coin is a true rarity in the world of numismatics, and it could be your ticket to a fortune. First things first, let's take a look at this remarkable penny. The 1994 Lincoln 1-cent penny is made of copper-plated zinc, just like most pennies from the 1980s onward. So, what makes this particular penny so special? Well, it doesn't have a mint mark, and that's where the mystery begins. Typically, pennies from the United States are stamped with a mint mark, indicating where they were produced, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark if they came from the Philadelphia Mint. Now, the 1994 penny is supposed to have either a D or no mint mark if it was struck in Philadelphia. But what makes the 1994 no mint mark coin so extraordinary? It's the result of a rare minting error. Now, how does a minting error like this happen? Well, during the production of the 1994 pennies, it appears that a die from the Denver Mint was mistakenly used to strike coins at the Philadelphia Mint, causing a no mint mark error on the penny. This wasn't something that was caught during regular quality control, which is why the mistake was able to make it into circulation. As you can see, the 1994 no mint mark penny looks nearly identical to a regular 1994 penny, except for one major detail, the absence of that mint mark. So, how much is it worth? Well, the value of a 1994 no mint mark penny can vary depending on its condition, but here's where it gets exciting. Several 1994 no mint mark pennies have been sold for surprisingly high prices. The most notable one was sold for a staggering $1.7 million at an auction, yes, $1.7 million. This was due to its exceptional quality and the rarity of the error. Only a few of these coins are believed to exist, making them incredibly valuable to collectors. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I have one of these rare 1994 no mint mark pennies? Well, here's how you can check. First, make sure to carefully examine your penny. Look closely at the reverse side of the coin, especially around the lower right-hand corner where the mint mark should be. If there's no mint mark, congratulations, you've got a rare find on your hands. However, just finding a no mint mark penny isn't enough to guarantee $1 million payday. The condition of the coin matters just as much. The higher the grade, the more valuable it will be. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin. So, if your 1994 no mint mark penny is in near perfect condition, it could be worth far more than a typical circulated coin. A coin graded in mint state, or MS 65 and above, is considered to be in near uncirculated condition and can fetch a higher price at auction. If you have a coin with little to no wear, bright surfaces, and sharp details, you could be sitting on a valuable treasure. Before you get too excited, though, keep in mind that finding a 1994 no-mint mark penny in perfect condition is extremely rare, and only a handful of them are worth such an astronomical sum. But don't let that discourage you. If you find one, it's still worth taking to a professional coin appraiser to determine its exact value. An appraiser will give you a proper grade and let you know the true worth of your coin, so it's important to have it properly authenticated. If you have a 1994 no-mint mark penny in exceptional condition, you might just have a hidden gem on your hands. So, what do you think? Do you have a 1994 no-mint mark penny sitting in your collection, or maybe in your change jar? Let me know in the comments below if you've ever come across one of these rare coins. And remember, always keep an eye out for those rare minting errors, they could be worth more than you ever imagined. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this one. 2015 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny without a mint mark is worth a staggering $1.5 million in today's market. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stay tuned as we break down everything you need to know about this incredibly rare coin. Before we get to the mind-blowing value, let's take a quick look at this coin. This is the 2015 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like any other penny you've seen. But there's one major difference that sets it apart. It's the absence of the mint mark on the reverse side. Usually, you'll find a mint mark under the date, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. However, the 2015 penny without a mint mark was produced in Philadelphia. Normally, this wouldn't be a huge deal. But here's where things get interesting. In 2015, the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia accidentally produced a small number of pennies without the mint mark. These coins were supposed to have a P mint mark, indicating they were struck in Philadelphia, just like the 2017 penny, the first year the P mint mark was added to coins since World War II. But some of these 2015 pennies slipped through the cracks. Now, this error might sound like something small, but it's a big deal to collectors. Pennies without mint marks are incredibly rare. While the U.S. Mint has made these errors in the past, the fact that a coin from 2015 is missing its mint mark has sparked major interest in the numismatic world. Let's talk about the value. A standard 2015 penny is worth, well, just 1 cent. However, the 2015 no mint mark Lincoln penny has been known to fetch some jaw-dropping prices. In recent years, one of these rare pennies sold for an astounding $1.5 million at an auction. How did this happen? Well, it all comes down to scarcity and demand. Only a very limited number of these mint mark errors were produced, and they weren't discovered until years later, after they had been circulating in the public for some time. As a result, coin collectors, investors, and error enthusiasts have been eagerly searching for these rare specimens. But not all 2015 no mint mark pennies are created equal. The value of this rare penny depends on its condition and grade. Coins in mint state, meaning they have no visible wear and have been well preserved, are worth far more than those that are damaged or heavily circulated. For example, MS-67 or higher graded coin could easily fetch several $100,000, but an uncirculated one with perfect features can push the price closer to $1.5 million. So, if you're out there hunting for pennies, make sure to check for this rare error. Look carefully at the reverse side of your 2015 pennies, especially if they have no mint mark. If you find one, it's worth getting it checked out by a professional coin grader. Here's how you can tell if you have a 2015 no mint mark Lincoln penny on your hands. Flip the coin over, and inspect the reverse side. If there's no mint mark under the date, no D, no S, and no P, you may have one of these rare error coins. So, is it time to go through your penny jar? It might just be worth your while to look closely. That everyday penny might just be your ticket to a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin tips and value insights, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And if you have any rare pennies or cool finds, drop a comment below. Let's get the conversation going. 2017 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny coin, and guess what? It's worth a mind-blowing $1.3 million. But before we dive in, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny? Worth $1 million. It might sound unbelievable, but it's true. The 2017 D. Lincoln penny, minted at the Denver Mint, is one of those rare coins that has sparked intense interest in the numismatic world. Let's first look at this penny. It looks like your typical 2017 Lincoln penny. We've got President Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, and the reverse shows the familiar shield design. Nothing too extraordinary at first glance, right? But here's where the story gets interesting. So, what makes this penny worth a whopping $1.3 million? The answer lies in a rare minting error. You see, the 2017 D. Lincoln penny wasn't just minted with the usual designs, some of these coins had a massive, and I mean massive, error. Some 2017 D. pennies were struck with an unusual, noticeable error. They have a double die, which means the design on the coin appears to have been struck twice, creating a slight doubling effect in the text and image. Now, you might be wondering, isn't that a common error? Well, not exactly. While double die coins do exist, the one we're talking about is much rarer. This error creates a much more pronounced doubling, making it highly sought after by collectors. And because it's a 2017 D coin, minted only in Denver, the rarity factor jumps even higher. Now, let's talk about the $1.3 million price tag. How did this penny become so valuable? In 2020, a 2017 D double die error penny was auctioned off for a record $1.3 million. That's right, a penny, a coin that was originally worth just 1 cent, was sold for more than $1 million. The reason? Only a handful of these double die pennies were ever produced, and only a small fraction of those have been discovered so far. Collectors and investors jumped at the opportunity to own one of these rare coins, driving up the price. The rarity, the unique error, and the high demand from collectors and investors all combined to make this penny one of the most valuable in recent history. So, how can you identify if you've got one of these $1 million pennies? It's all about paying attention to the details. Here's what you need to look for. Check the lettering and the design for signs of doubling. On a genuine double die penny, you'll notice a slight shadow or doubling effect on the words Liberty, In God We Trust, and sometimes even the year 2017. The most noticeable doubling typically appears on the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions, where you can see the letters looking a bit more spread out than normal. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to really zoom in on these details. If you spot these signs of doubling, congratulations, you might be holding a rare coin. Alright, so you've got one of these rare 2017 D double die pennies. What now? How do you go about getting it appraised and potentially sold for a fortune? First, you'll want to have it appraised by a professional numismatist or coin dealer who can confirm the error. Then, you can either sell it through a reputable auction house or coin dealer, or, if you prefer, you can try your luck by listing it online on platforms like eBay or Heritage Auctions. But remember, not every 2017 D penny with slight doubling is worth a fortune. The error has to be significant, and it needs to be in good condition. So, make sure you do your research before selling. So, there you have it. The 2017 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny is a great example of how a small error can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a collector's dream worth millions. 2018 D. Lincoln penny is worth a whopping $1.2 million. That's right, you heard me correctly, one single penny, minted just a few years ago, could change your life. Now, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell, so you never miss out on more amazing coin stories and tips to help you spot rare finds in your own collection. Let's dive right in. First, let's take a quick look at this penny. The 2018 D. Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny is, of course, a standard design, featuring Lincoln on the obverse, with the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. The D mint mark indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, which is key to understanding why this penny might be more valuable than you expect. Now, you might be asking yourself, what makes this coin worth so much? Well, it all comes down to a rare and valuable error. In 2018, a very small batch of these pennies were mistakenly struck with a rare defect, a misalignment of the dies or an off-center strike. This means that the design wasn't properly centered on the coin during the minting process, creating a distinctive error that collectors are paying big money for. As you can see here, this misaligned strike makes the coin stand out from the hundreds of millions of regular pennies produced that year. And this isn't just any slight misalignment, it's a dramatic one that is visible even to the naked eye, making it a truly unique piece in the world of numismatics. Finding one of these rare 2018 D pennies in your change is incredibly rare, and when they do appear, they can fetch prices ranging anywhere from a few $100s to over $1.2 million, depending on the severity of the error and the coin's condition. It's no surprise that collectors are scrambling to find them, and some have even paid top dollar at auctions to get their hands on these rare pieces. Let's take a look at the auction market. In recent years, this particular coin has seen dramatic price hikes at auction houses, with some of the most extreme examples fetching upwards of $1.2 million. Yes, a single penny. That's the power of rare, well-documented mint errors that capture the imagination of coin collectors around the world. And what makes this even more interesting is that this error is not one that occurred on a large scale, making the few surviving pieces even more valuable. Coins like these are often considered investment grade, meaning their value could continue to rise over time, especially as more collectors enter the market and fewer of these coins remain in circulation. If you're wondering how to tell if you have one of these rare 2018 D pennies, it's quite simple. Look closely for the off-center strike. Compare it with a regular 2018 penny, and you'll immediately notice the difference in the design's alignment. Not only is this penny an error in design, but it's also a historical artifact. A piece of U.S. mint history that speaks to the precision and occasional flaws that occur in coin production. That's what makes this coin so special and why collectors are willing to pay such a hefty price. Before you rush off to check your pocket change, here's a reminder, these misaligned pennies are incredibly rare. You won't find them everywhere, and even when you do, they need to be in good condition to fetch a high price. If you think you've got one, it's always best to have it professionally appraised to confirm its value. Make sure to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Grading helps establish the coin's authenticity, condition, and overall market value, which is crucial for getting top dollar when you sell. So, what do you think about the 2018 D Lincoln penny? Would you ever have guessed that a coin this recent could be worth a fortune? Let me know in the comments below if you've ever found a rare coin in your change and what you did with it. As always, stay tuned for more exciting stories and tips from the world of coin collecting.